Hi guys, today we are making Tofu Pasanda. Pasanda is another one of those North Indian restaurant style sauces that is mind-blowingly delicious, and I simplified it and also made it nut-free. Pasand means favorite, and this pasanda is also going to become one of your favorite Indian curries. You can find meat-based pasanda dishes in North Indian restaurants and in Pakistani cuisine as well. Depending on the restaurant and the chef, the recipe varies quite a bit. Often it is made very heavy and decadent by using lots of nuts in the sauce, as well as lots of nuts and raisins, either stuffed in the meat or stuffed in between paneer cheese slices. We're not making it that rich and heavy, we're making it more home style, eliminating all the nuts and using pumpkin seeds, pepitas instead. The sauce still comes out really creamy and luscious. If you don't want to use pumpkin seeds, you can use some cashews and almonds or both. There's a ton of flavor in this recipe. If you don't have a spice or two, still try it because it's gonna still turn out amazing. This is one of the earlier recipes that I veganized on the blog somewhere around 2014, and then I also put a version of it in my first cookbook, Indian Kitchen, and you can kind of see my evolution from that time to now. I tended to use more chopped ginger and garlic, and now I tend to use ginger garlic paste. I would use more fresh tomatoes. Now I prefer using tomato puree depending on the flavor profile of the sauce. Tomato puree just simplifies the whole process. It's quicker, you don't have to blend the sauce and all of that. I'm staying true to the book version of this recipe because all of those toasted whole spices, the caramelized onion and tomato all blend up into this delicious and luscious sauce. So do try this recipe and let me know in the comments if you try it. That's our pasanda sauce and it comes out delicious every single time. You can use any protein in this sauce. Like a lot of the North Indian sauces and curries, all of the flavor is mostly in the sauce. So use the sauce with different proteins. You can use chickpea flour tofu, chickpeas, butter beans, lentils, seitan, soy curls. The sauce just works really well with any protein. The original recipe uses hemp seed tofu. I don't think hemp seed tofu is easily available anymore, but you can use pumpkin seed tofu and chickpea flour tofu if you want to make it soy free. Tear any of these into bite-sized pieces and then start the skillet over medium-high heat, add the oil, and once the oil is hot, that's when you add the tofu so that the tofu doesn't stick to the skillet, and then sprinkle the garam masala and cinnamon all over. Let the tofu sit undisturbed for 2 to 3 minutes and then flip to crisp up the other edges of the tofu. Continue to flip every 2 to 3 minutes to crisp up most of the edges of the tofu and then remove it from the skillet. If you're using a different protein substitute like chickpeas or beans, you don't need to crisp those. You can just add them to the sauce and add the garam masala and cinnamon that is reserved for the protein into the sauce as well. Reduce the heat to medium, add another teaspoon of oil. Once the oil is hot, add the cumin seeds, fennel seeds, and coriander seeds and mix in. Let them cook for about half a minute. Then add in the onion and a good pinch of salt and cook until the onion is golden. Add splashes of water in between to help the onion brown evenly. Once the onion is nicely golden, add in your chopped ginger and garlic and mix in and cook that for about a minute. Then add in your pumpkin seeds and poppy seeds and mix those in. Add in the tomatoes and some more salt and mix that in and continue to cook for 3 to 4 minutes. Add in a splash of water if the tomatoes are not juicy enough and continue to cook the tomatoes. Mash some of the larger pieces and then continue to cook until the tomatoes are jammy. Then switch off the heat and let this mixture cool a little bit. Add it to a blender, add some non-dairy milk and blend all of that. So you'll have to blend this mixture a couple of times so that the poppy seeds and the pumpkin seeds blend up really well. They don't break down that easily. So blend it for about a minute and let this mixture sit to rehydrate those pumpkin seeds and poppy seeds for about 5 minutes and then blend it again for about half a minute. Repeat this another 2 to 3 times until the poppy seeds and all the other whole spices are also nicely blended and you don't see some whole cumin seeds floating around in the sauce. Then add the sauce back to the skillet. Add the salt, sugar, paprika and cayenne and mix in and bring it to a boil over medium heat. Then add in your tofu, add in some more water to adjust the consistency, taste and adjust the salt and flavor, and then cover it with a lid and let it cook for 10 minutes or so for all of that sauce to thicken a little bit and coat the tofu. Once the sauce is thickened to your preference, then switch off the heat, garnish with some cilantro and serve it with some naan, flatbread or over rice or quinoa. You can also use this to make tacos or wraps because it's a really delicious and meaty dish. Just use it however you like and let me know in the comments below if you do try it. Now there are different types of poppy seeds. There are white and black poppy seeds. Either will work here. If you get it from an Indian store, you will most likely get the white poppy seeds. If you go to a regular store, you will most likely get the black poppy seeds. You guys often ask me about my skillets and why the tofu doesn't stick to the skillet. All of these skillets aren't any different than most of the other non-stick skillets. skillets, the key to maintaining your non-stick skillet is to one, not wash them in the dishwasher, hand wash them, and also keep the skillets reserved for certain things. So I have these skillets reserved for making tofu curries, and I don't make flatbreads on them because flatbreads need a little higher temperature as well as different kinds of spatula. It kind of messes up with the non-stickness. I also have a list of skillets that I really like to use in the description. I've been on a mission to bring you amazing, delicious, regional Indian, meaty, and not all butter chicken recipes, and exploring more Indian cuisine for quite a while. I mean, I wrote a whole book in 2015 that was a bestseller. And I have been exploring more and more regional Indian cuisine as well as more meat heavy dishes to bring all of that flavor so that we can enjoy vegan versions of all of those sauces. Most of the sauces are pretty much close to vegan anyway. I don't know why we don't use those sauces with beans and vegetables in everyday Indian cooking. These sauces are so amazing. Let me know in the comments if you like this series, and also let me know if you tried this recipe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.